IPMNation.com.
Counterpunch promo live in 3, 2, 1.
Live from the Counterpunch Media Studio in Columbus, Ohio, this is All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy, brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good evening and welcome. I have to tell you, I'm a little giddy for what will be, I think, the 415th episode. But first, let me thank you for stopping by and hanging out for said 415 of the #1 rated show here on IPMNation.com. You're in to All Natural Being and the Gong Heard Around the World. Broadcast, as it happens, thanks to our good friends at Telestream's Wirecast, as you know by now, broadcast live from the Counterpunch Media Studios here in a suburb of beautiful Columbus, Ohio, directly to IPMNation.com, and of course, multicast live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and over on MortalUp.com as well. I told you before, a little bit giddy because it might be firing on all cylinders tonight. We got to wait and see. Of course, we're on the Brian Brawdy app with rebroadcasts on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, just to name a few. Greetings wherever you are here in the garden of the mortals, the labyrinth of life itself. The ups and downs, the lefts, the rights, the pivots, the swerves, the flukes and the whims, the sheer havoc of the synchronicity and serendipity of it all. Blind alleys and cul-de-sacs, sure, we've got a bunch of those, but never a dead end. That is, unless we tap out. And until then, you and I are committed to always putting our heart's highest priority top of the list, end of the story. Always calling on the true wit and wisdom, and I dare say wallop of your inner whisper. And that's a good thing. Because we're here to out-brutal the brutal that is the cut and shuffle that fate can deal us on a daily basis. And to once and for all bring our own bold, as I say, each and every day, even to myself. Before we hit it this evening, a quick hello to my friends and family, to those joining us from all over the globe. It's great to have you with us as always. I truly am fired up today to be driving your bandwagon. We have a lot of huge news, and I'm very excited about it. But I'm also always excited to be avidly you, to be your biggest fan, to be your virtual hitchhiker if you're out and about and on the go. You have to admit, you can fit me right in the cup holder, extra cup holder in case you're driving with a drink. A Diet Coke, I mean, right? But either way, whatever you're drinking, I always love riding shotgun. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity to mortal up, to crush your can't, and while we're at it, let's crush our critics. To demand your mind's eye and your true potential live wide open. So what do you say? Let's go kick in some doors. So let me just apologize first again for last night, because the people in the thread that have said, oh, well, there are going to be any technical difficulties tonight. We sure hope not. But here's what we're trying to do through the 17 feet of rain we've had here in the last 12 hours in SeaWorld or wherever it is I'm coming from. So we're trying to get the signal out, and we're trying to do it on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. We'll try to simulcast on all three. So we're still working out some of the kinks, but my apologies for last night if the feed wasn't what you thought it would be. We're working on it's all very technical. Thank God Wayne's the brains of the operation. Well, and if you know anything about me, he's also the looks and the brains of the operation. So I don't know what I'm doing here, but in any event, that's what we're working on this this evening is the ability to broadcast to those 3 points and still have our incoming calls, still have our texts. Don't forget, if you want to call me tonight, you're most certainly welcome. You can call us at 833-MINDUPS, MINDUPS, just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups. Or let me do the heavy lifting of the math for you. That's 833-646-3877. 833-646-3877. You can call us. You can text us. And I think they told me to say, oh, well, you got to watch standard data rates may apply. Bunch of... In any event, now there's your warning that if you text me, that they may charge you a penny or two. I don't even know what it is. I don't know. Does anyone not have unlimited texting anymore? But in any event, if you get a shot, give us a text or a call. We would love to hear from you. All right, this evening, we'll do a little bit of news, not much. 81 to win, still moving right along. We've got we put a lot of work into the website as well, making sure everything is set there. So we're going to be having the ability to, I'm hoping very shortly, let me make sure this is turned off, very shortly broadcast some updates about that. That's coming the beginning of June. So we're still very, very excited. And according to the medical professionals at Columbus Cranium Shack, I get stronger every day. So we're really fired up about that. But something else we're fired up tonight, and I'd like to kind of mingle it in and around, if I could, with some of the other things that we're talking about. And I promised I would show the 81 to win logo, the official Guinness World Record. And if you want to go look, we got to hold his feet to the fire. Make sure he's telling us the truth. Then the whole thing's going to be broadcast here live. Again, thanks to our friends at Telestream's Wirecast. The whole attempt's going to be broadcast live so you can watch from around the world. Can he really make it for 81 hours? Believe me, come the beginning of June, we're all going to find out. So here's what I wanted to share with you tonight, and hopefully you can glean a little bit from this, right, in terms of things that you can apply, things that you can go, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I think I could absolutely use that in my life. So we've got a couple of those things coming up this evening, including, and I know you're thinking, hey, it's, Tuesday night? I haven't had my shot of math yet, so we'll be doing my version of the transitive property of math. I know, right? You're glued to your seat. Don't touch that dial or that space bar, whatever it is that would allow you to dump me. The transitive property of math, I know you're thinking, Bri, why wouldn't we stick around for that? Right? That just sounds like it's too cool to miss. But we're also going to be talking about my favorite 4-letter word. Of course, I'm talking about the word hope. But we'll get to that here in a little bit. Let me jump over in the thread, say hello to everyone joining us. And then I need some help from everyone here tonight. And I'll tell you all about it. It's not going to cost you anything. But I have some things written down that I want to run past you, see what you think, and we can kind of go from there. But John says, hello, everybody. John, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Jamie, it's nice to see you. Hi to you as well. Kathy, hello. I sure hope we've ironed out some of those kinks. Thank you so very much for giving us another opportunity to dial this all in. Marie, thank you so much. Hey, you all. Patricia Costello is here. Good evening, all. Need this tonight because mediocrity is nipping at my heels. Well, Patricia, you've come to the right place. I'm hoping, right? Because there ain't nothing mediocre about what goes on through my day. Hello, Wayne. I was just busy singing your praises. Lee, good evening, everyone, he says. Nice to see you, Lee. Thank you so very much. 17 feet of rain. Yes, I know, right? There's like puddles in the streets here. Forget about snow plows, right? And then just the other day, we had like a foot of snow or something, and someone comes and says, well, you have like 3 to 4 days where you have to shovel your driveway and the sidewalks before they can come and give you a ticket. And I go, 3 or 4 days? It's going to be 54 degrees tomorrow and 100% chance of rain. I'll let Mother Nature shovel the sidewalk. Mother Nature knows how to lift with the knees, I'm betting. Patricia, have you moved to Atlantis? You would think so, my friend. You would think so. I'm ready to see a dolphin go right by here if it gets any worse. Going live across the board. Well, Wayne, thank you very much. Jeremy, I think about you a lot, brother. A lot has happened since the very first time you and I worked a camera together. Nice to see you. Hope you and the family are well. John, your mom says hi. Please tell her I said hello. Right back at her. Darren, hello to you. Rita, big day coming up soon, Rita. Big day. I'm looking forward to it. Well, not as much as you are probably with the bash and everything else, but I'm looking forward to experiencing it, at a distance with you and Henry. Northern Illinois, Darren said, is covered in ice. Yeah, and I know, Darren, so I probably shouldn't be making fun of the fact that everything here is covered in water, right? But let me just say that the temperature's supposed to drop tonight. We're supposed to get more snow, right? And there'll be another thing of rain where Mother Nature will have the opportunity to shovel my sidewalks, my other walks and everything else. So here's what I want to talk to you about briefly this evening, if I could. As you know, All Natural Being, where we say 4:15 tonight, All Natural Being got its start as a morning show. And I'm really kind of fired up about the opportunity. March 4th, we're going to be going back to mornings. And I'd like to say it's per the doctor's orders, but it's kind of half of that and half me just going, I'm just right, like Matt Connerton unleashed. I'm just frothing at the bit to be able to be unleashed, to get back out and be doing mornings once again. So I think what we're agreed upon is we're going to be doing 6:30 to 7:30 to start off, see how things go, get our sea legs. But 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern time is what we're going to do. And then we're going to kind of build from there. I think one of the things that we'll be focusing on is, quite possibly taking the show to 2 or to 3 hours. But so what I thought I'd share with you tonight is some of what kind of the radio cuts, right? Some of the things where you'll hear, like every 10 minutes, you'll hear a 6-second little riff that'll remind you where you are, give me a chance to get a sip of my coffee or whatever else it is that I'm dealing with in the mornings. And so they're just like little station breaks. So I thought if it's cool with you, I'd mention some of it. Darren, thank you very much. I'd mention some of them, and you can tell me, because ultimately, I want to build a morning show, right, that really has your mind in mind. And I want a show that says, basically, rise and shine, and let's go kick in some doors. So instead of having a show where we kind of unwind at the end of the day, and I'm really, to be honest, some of you have mentioned this before, I'm really not an unwind kind of guy. Like, you don't think to yourself, oh yeah, I got to fall asleep tonight, I got to get a night's sleep, so let's put Brian on and see if he can't talk us to sleep. I'm just not that kind of guy. It's just not going to work. It's not in my blood. Shane, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us, as always, here on All Natural Being. So I want a show that says rise, shine, and let's go kick in some doors, right? So that it's a show about how we get your head in the game, get your day underway, and get your show on the road. That's what I want the show to be about. So before we get to my favorite 4-letter word, hope, and my definition of the transitive property of math, a little bit of a recap of what we talked about last night. Hi, Shane. Nice to see you. What time? It's going to be, 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 to 7:30 a.m., John, Eastern time. So here's what I thought we could do. One of the taglines that we were talking about today, and you're saying, hey, look, you're listening to All Natural Being on IPM Nation's TheBRI, right? So Matt and I were talking today, and it's no blame on him, it's on me. So, if you go to IPMNation.com, you type in TheBRI, TheBRI, it's going to take you right over to the Counterpunch page. So people go, well, how do we get to Counterpunch? Is it Counterpunch? Is it Counterpunch Media? Is it all the rest of this? You can go to IPM Nation's TheBRI, and it'll get you straight through to the Counterpunch page. So one of the things that we were working about are these taglines. It says, look, you got to get up. Why not grab a shot of eye-opening audio? So I want to see what everyone thought about like that. Oh, I like this one. It's like a snow day for your crappy sense of self. Yeah, have your crappy sense of self take a snow day, which reminds me, Lee, you might find this interesting. The people on Instagram, I put up something the other day that says, oh, stop taking your own crap. And I got a warning from Instagram going, oh, I don't like any of that foul language. I didn't know crap was considered a foul, like a 4-letter word like hope. I mean, I get there 4 letters and all that, but in any event, Instagram said, oh, no, don't say crap. So we won't be putting this one up on Instagram, but it's like a snow day for your crappy sense of self. Another one, let me be the first to say, bring it in. Come on, not a bro hug, you know what I mean, but bring it in, a big hug. So we've got that. It's a grab and go for your gray matter. We got that as a suggestion. Thank you very much for that. Don't forget, if you want to give me a text, if you've got a line you think that would work, you can text us as well as call us, 833-646-3877, 833-MIND-UPS, just like push-ups or sit-ups or pull-ups. All right. Here's one that I'm actually pretty fired up about. And it says, any moment you're not returned to the dust is a damn good moment. So I'm pretty sure Instagram isn't going to like the word damn if it didn't like the word crap. Where am I going with that word? Another one. We're here to bust the myth that you're somehow broken. Why are they carping about crap on Instagram? I like it, Patricia. I should send you over there. Absolutely, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. These are just peaches. Thank you very much. We're here to bust the myth that you're somehow broken. All right, so I wrote this just a little bit ago. It's a mental stretching program for the ultimate in intellectual flexibility. So most people go, oh, well, I like to get up and stretch first thing in the morning. Well, what if we had a mental stretching program that would prepare you to face the onslaught of the day, right? We're here to rev up your morning ritual, was one that we have down. Someone sent in. Oh, I guess you won't be able to tell who wrote this. Scientifically proven to be brighter than damn near any other morning show on the planet. Yeah, I'll never be able to figure out who wrote that, huh? Let me see, what's another one? Fall in love with mornings all over again. Yeah, that's not too self-serving, isn't it? Not thinking too highly of our show. Fall in love with mornings all over again. Oh, here's one. No need to RSVP. You're already here. So I like that. Let me see, what's another one we got? Oh, you have to admit we make a pretty perfect pair, right? So if you're teaming up and I'm riding shotgun and you're out and about, you're on the L, you're on the subway, the train, the plane. If you commute to work, you're in the car, just drop me in the cup holder, right? You got to admit, you make a pretty perfect pair. Nothing says mornings have to be a time for morning. Just saying, right? A little bit of a play on words there. Another one we have, if you're already on the road, we're the perfect virtual hitchhiker. As we said, we fit right in your cup holder. So we got that one. Oh, it's like audio antihistamines for cognitive congestion. Audio antihistamines, I like that. We talked about eye-opening audio earlier. If you don't mind, let me get through a few more of these, see what you think. Lead or be led. Lead or be led. Remember that your mind works for you. That's a favorite of mine. Why use a concealer when you can get a cognitive deep cleanse? It's a little facial thing. I worked with mascara. I thought about all those other things, but why use a concealer when you can get a cognitive deep cleanse? That might very well make it to one of our taglines. Let me say, a superfood for your sense of self. We've got that, right? That'll be our morning show, a superfood. Like an earthquake for both ears. Okay, I'll take that one. Why not? Oh, here's one of my favorites. Why not leave tepid on the pillow with the eye goop and hardened drool? You got to slow down a little to get that one out, but why not leave tepid on the pillow with the eye goop, in case the Sandman visited overnight, and the hardened drool? Fine. If it's breakfast time, it must be TheBRI. Thank you, Matt, very much for that. Sarah, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Please tell everyone where you are. I think Witless relocation program, but please tell everyone that we said hello up there where you are. Oh, here's one. Restore your more before you head out the door. So I'm digging that. Again, I think you see why I'm so fired up about mornings. Love hanging out here in the evenings for certain. But I'm not slumber and well, at least I don't think I'm slumber inducing. There might be some people say, yeah, listen to Brian. That crap puts me right to sleep. There I slipped again and said crap. Okay. In the Army, we had a phrase, lead, follow, or get out of the way. Absolutely agreed with you, Darren. I remember that phrase. Although I wasn't in the Army, I was in the Air Force. I absolutely remember. Another one that I love from my brother who was in the Army, embrace the suck. Terribly stoic of him, I know, but embrace the suck. Okay, wake up to the very best way to jumpstart your day. All right, there's only a few more here, so thank you for letting me get through these. And please feel free to, give me an idea here in the post, in the thread, what you think. We have, why start your day with your thoughts rigged against you? Right? A little bit more of my thought that it's not the environment that's against you. It's not, fate's going to chop block in whenever it can, but it's not nearly as important to remember that our thoughts are rigged against ourselves. Our binge thinking is rigged against us, right? Our philosophical toxins are rigged against us. So we're going to say, hey, why start your day with your thoughts rigged against you? Here's one of my favorites. I'm on your side even when you're not. So, we just kind of pass the cup back and forth. If my amnesia is hitting me a little more one day, my friends here in the thread, my friends everywhere else around kind of rally to the cause and go, no, you got to remember this. Well, we hope to be the same way, or I hope to be the same way. On those days where you wake up and you're like, yeah, I'm a little groggy. I've forgotten who I truly am, what I'm ultimately capable of. I've forgotten my natural resources. Then I'd like to be able to say, I'm on your side even when you're not. Oh, here's one of my favorites. This might make it to the top of the list. Following the herd is a great idea as long as you can stomach the smell of butt. Following the herd is a great idea as long as you can stomach the smell of butt. So that I could just tell you right now, that's going to make it. Looking for a preventative, like a philosophical probiotic? We got that. So maybe that's another thing that we'll be working on is philosophical probiotics in the morning. Things that you can do to jumpstart your day, to get your mind working for you right away. And as we said, to get your head in the game, to get your day underway and to get your show on the road. And that's why I think I'm so fired up about going back to mornings. All right. Thank you so much for letting me get those out of my system. And, I'll have some other people will text in and I'll write some more between now and March 4th. But those will be, you won't hear them every day, but there'll be little station breaks that we'll put in here and there. All right. 2 topics I wanted to cover tonight. I rambled on this whole time. I'm sorry. We got about 10 minutes left. 2 topics I wanted to talk about. I get a lot of crap from, there's that word again. I can't get it out of my mind. Snapchat. Right? Snapchat. No, Instagram. I'm a loss. I'm total loss. You woke up. Earn it. There you Thank you, Lee. Yes, Wayne, write that down. Let me take a screen capture of that. You woke up. Earn it. Thank you, Lee. I love that. Well, you are the master copywriter, so I know that. Matt, thank you so very much for joining me. Sorry I missed your show tonight. I was a little busy doing some other things, but I was really fired up about Matt's show. Maybe we can have a chance to hang out tomorrow. Maybe I'll even have Matt call in because this Carmela, time traveler Harris, used to smoke bongs during people that were singing music that weren't even singing music at the time she was in school. And you throw that in with Corey, Spartacus, Booker. You throw it in with Elizabeth. Anybody seen My Tribe, Warren? You get where I'm going with this. Can we just get anyone that runs for president that can just tell the truth? But we'll cover that all tomorrow night. So Matt, thank you for a little bit of vent earlier today. All right. So let me get through the 2 topics that I wanted to talk about tonight. I get people have a hard time when they go, well, what do you mean hope? Don't you hold out hope? And I said, look, hope is a 4-letter word to me, right? The poet Sandburg said, hope is an echo. It bids you yonder, 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 just another carrot at the end of the stick. And my belief has always been mired is mired. Whether you're mired in yesterday or you're mired in tomorrow, it's always good to remember that hope and weep, whether you're weeping for something that's happened in the past or you're hoping for something, right, that's going to happen tomorrow, hope and weep are both 4-letter words. So maybe, just maybe, if we decide to stay in the moment, to magnify this moment, no hoping for the things in the future, no weeping over things in the past. And it made me think of it. Lee just said, you woke up, earn it. Well, you and I have earned where we're standing right now in this particular moment in all of time. So what we can do is, instead of being called off of our foundation, called off of this platform to either something behind us or something ahead of us, we can pay attention to the fingerprints of providence that are right at us, right? Instead of always looking for the horizon, how about where our feet are planted right now? But mired is mired, and that's how I always defend it. Whether you're mired in the past or you're mired in the future, you're still mired. Hope and weep are still 4-letter words. No crap out of this trap. Thank you very much, Kathy. Yeah, that wouldn't be true, though. I'm trying to keep a little, not for you, Kathy, but for me, right? So, so maybe I'll borrow that one along with Lee's, if you don't mind. Yeah, this would probably been a good time to say, hey, if you throw it in the feed, it's public domain. So no, but I'll give you the copyright for it. Thank you very much. Kathy, I appreciate it. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk tonight, I know you're glued on your seats for the final 6 minutes. You go transitive property and math. Boy, thank you. I was just saying just yesterday, Bri, I wish there was someone that could teach me the transitive property of math. Or if I learned it in school and I forgot it, boy, wouldn't it be great to have a refresher course on the transitive property of math. So I go, great, I'll volunteer. Let me do it, right? What else we got to go ahead? Thank you very much, Kathy. Philip, thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. We're about to wrap up with the transitive property of math. And you remember the transitive property. If, if A equals C and B equals C, then A equals B, right? It's pretty simple. But in borrowing from Marcus Aurelius, I think we did last night, we started to scratch the surface on this, that if it's humanly possible and you're a human, then whatever anyone else has pulled off, if it's humanly possible, whatever anyone else has pulled off, then it's humanly possible for you. So the transitive property, if A equals C, if you're a human, and B equals C, B is possible for humans, then A equals B. That possibility exists for you all. If it's been done before, you can rally the moment, you can rally your natural resources, you can pay attention to the fingerprints of providence at hand, right? The divine's fingerprints, the latent fingerprints right now. Good evening, Joseph. Thank you for joining us here at All Natural Being. Howdy, Mr. B. Philip, nice to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us as well. So we're just talking about the transitive property. If A equals C and B equals C, then A equals B. If it's humanly possible, and you and I woke up this morning, we were humans. If it's been done before by a human, it makes it possible. And if you're a human, then it's possible for you as well. So when we get off, off on these in the deep snow and go, I don't know if I could do this. Other humans have done it, and if other humans can do it, you and I can do it too. As long as we don't sell ourselves short, as long as we don't get sidetracked by the binge thinking. Years ago, in Something to Believe In, a rather long treatise that I wrote right after my father's suicide, I talked a great deal about chatterdom. And chatterdom was just the word that I used whenever your mind gets going like a speed bag, and you're just getting browbeat by your own thoughts, by your own binge thinking. How can you truly try to put your heart's highest priority top of your list if you're busy beating back your own mind? And maybe everything would seem to us possible if we could just set aside some of the ways that we berate ourselves, some of the ways that we tend to side with the committee vote, some of the ways that we just buy in to all the reasons why we can't, what I've called, I think just a couple days ago, crimes of the mind. When you talk about crimes against humanity, how about the crimes against a human mind? Joseph says you have to know your limitations. And all I would suggest is you know your limitations from both the inside and the outside. A lot of people say, oh, you have to know your limitations, and they get right up to what they think is a limitation. They go, oh, yeah, this is my limitation. And all I'm simply suggesting is you have to know your limitations, then just go around over here and go, oh, wow, that was a limitation just a minute ago. Now what do I have? So I would say know your limitations, absolutely correct. Just see them from both sides. Know exactly what it is that you're up against and see if there's a way of doing, is the universe setting a pick? Is there some way for you to get around this hurdle, some way to get around this obstacle? I believe that there is. If it's humanly possible and you're still human, you're still here, then it's possible for you. And don't let anyone talk you out of it. We talk all the time about the walking, talking pits of quicksand, Venus flytraps with legs. All the people around us. Someone reminded me the other day, what's that thing about crabs in a pot? They could climb out if they could, but one crab goes to climb out and then all the other crabs grab him and pull him back in. Well, that works at the macro level. You try to claw out all the critics in your life, all the different things, right? Joseph says, I can't swim the English Channel now, but maybe tomorrow. You got to prepare. Absolutely, Joseph. And if I were going to set up, I couldn't do the 81 hours for the 81 to win coming up. I could do 24 of it, but as Joseph says, I'm going to prepare. I'm going to get ready for that first week in June, and I will bring back the Guinness World Record for the longest call-in radio show, stay up for the 81 hours, but I'm going to have to prepare for that, just like swimming the English Channel. Heather, good evening. Thank you for joining us here at All a Natural Being. It's nice to see you. I'll leave you with this thought. When we talk about mortal up, it's always with the thought of expressing what is innately you, of an intrepid, just an intrepid intellectual intimacy, if you allow me to get some more INs in there. Just an intrepid intellectual intimacy where you like Joseph says, look, you got to know your limitations. But what if the limitations are a bill of goods that you never should have bought in the first place? What if other people set your limitations for you, but you had no vote? You didn't get a say, just like the color of your eyes or whether you were born with a hair lip, whatever it is. What if you adopted limitations in that same way? You had no say in what they were. What if they're wrong? What if I'm right and you can go up to your limitations, look at it, you go, oh, wow, let me just go around here, look around, then you look back on your limitations and go, what the heck was I worried about? All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I blew the whole thank you so much for helping me with all the taglines. Thank you for the people that made some timeline or cutaways on their own. Thank you very much. Heather says, better late than never. Heather, it's always great to see your smile whatever time you get here. Sorry, I've got to run. We will see you back here tomorrow night for All Natural Being. Thank you so very much for joining us. Have an absolutely fantastic evening and a rest of the day tomorrow until we catch up again.
IPMNation.com.